We are in week 2 of LiveMas, 25 days of visibility. I'm Rashonda Pratt, visibility and communication strategist. So glad that you are joining me for week 2. I cannot believe that I have done a full week, including the weekends, of going live with you all. I'm so excited about what is already transpiring in you all, what's happening in your business. Thank you so much for being a part of this experience for me, because it has been a very long time since I have gone live consistently. So I am excited about re-engaging this visibility muscle, especially when it comes to live video. I'm also excited about my new YouTube subscribers. Thanks, friends. Glad that you are here. If you are not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to Visibility is Power TV on YouTube. We're streaming right now on YouTube and also on LinkedIn. Make sure that you send me a connection request on LinkedIn as well, so we can make sure we stay connected and in community together. I'm not seeing any comments so far, and I know sometimes because I'm using a third-party app, that could be the case. So again, if you are engaging, don't worry. I always go back and check out the replay, so I'll make sure to see that. Speaking of replay, if you are in the replay audience, how do you know? There is not a red light that shows that you are live. So you are in the replay audience. Make sure to use the hashtag replay. And if you have any comments or questions, I always make sure to go back and check those out. So we are building upon our foundation, right? So week 1 really was setting the tone for your visibility foundation. We talked about the 3-part gap, the 5 P's of visibility production, the visibility audit, and the authority bridge. If you've missed any of week 1, go back and watch it. It's all available on replay, whether you're on my LinkedIn feed, or you can see it over on YouTube. So today we're moving into week 2, which is really strategic content and communication. And today, on day 8, we're talking about your soundbite strategy. Here's the big problem I see. When someone thinks of you, what do they remember you saying? Not what you do, but what you say. Can they repeat it? Can they even quote it? We have a running joke here in the house. My kids have heard me introduce myself, tell a particular story about how I became a journalist so well that they could now repeat it. And even when I close or when I'm opening, they will always say, you deserve, you know the rest, to be seen, heard, and paid. Your visibility is power. See, that is a soundbite. That is what causes you to be unforgettable. That's what causes you to stand out in the sea of other people. And so the truth is, people don't remember everything you say, but they remember what's quotable. Let me say that again. People don't remember everything that you say, but they remember what's quotable. And if you want to be the go-to authority, you need to be able to be quotable. And that's what we're focusing on today. So here's the problem that I see consistently. Brilliant leaders like yourself who are doing elite work, but when you ask them, what do you stand for? Or what's your perspective? They want to give you 5 paragraphs. They want to explain. They want to give nuance. They want to go into a deep storytelling. And while all of that is necessary when you're doing the work, it's not necessarily memorable. So let me tell you what happens. When you're at a networking event and someone asks, what do? You say, well, I help companies optimize their operational efficiency through strategic process improvement, cross-functional team alignment to drive sustainable growth outcomes. Yeah, what does that even mean, right? Their eyes glaze over like I just did. And not because it's not true, it's because it's not sticky. You want to make sure that you have a sticky story. There's actually a book out there called How to Make Your Story Stick. I believe that's what it is. And so that's a great resource for you to check out. Compared to someone who says, I help companies do more with less. See, That sticks. That's memorable. Or this scenario, you post on LinkedIn, you write 10 paragraphs of brilliant insights, and someone scrolls past it. A week later, they can't remember a single thing that you said. But if somewhere in those 10 paragraphs you said, competence without visibility is a waste of your calling, that they'll remember, that they'll screenshot, that they'll quote in a meeting. That's really what happened with Visibility is Power. I came with this insight and received this like fresh revelation about visibility is power. And the more I said it, the more people started quoting it and was using it in their meetings and using it when they're having conversations with other people. And so here's what I need you to understand. You're not competing for attention with other experts in your field. You're competing for mental real estate. There is so much that's bombarding your audience and the people that you're called to serve. There's so much that's going on in the mental, in their mind, that you have to make sure that what goes in there is memorable. Okay? Nathalie Gregg, good to see you. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. So we have to make sure that we have sticky stories. The leaders who become go-to authorities aren't just the smartest, they're the most quotable. So today I want to teach you how to create sound bites that are memorable, repeatable statements that position you as the authority in your space. So let me give you the soundbite formula, okay? This soundbite formula has 3 elements to it, okay? Number 1, the first element to it, and this is a great time for you to start taking notes, is clarity, right? Clarity. It's simple and specific. See the 2 things? Simple and specific. The next one is contrast. It's challenging a common belief or creates tension. Here's the thing. There are some things that are being said in your industry that you don't believe. You don't believe it. Matter of fact, you are in personal conversations and challenging it with your peers, but you haven't put it out here in the world for everyone else to see what? The contrast. And this one is my absolute favorite. We teach how to go deep in this. Conviction. It's bold, not wishy-washy. It's bold, not wishy-washy. Say that 3 times fast. So let's talk about the first one, okay? Let's go back and let's talk about clarity, how this works. Your soundbite can't be confusing. It can't require an explanation. It should be so clear that a 10-year-old can repeat it back to you. In fact, whenever I am writing copy or playing around with new sound bites, right? I always run it through my kids, especially when they were in elementary and middle school. Because if they could understand it without asking questions, then I know an adult can get it, right? So here's an example. We leverage synergistic methodologies to facilitate cross-platform engagement optimization. What? What does that even mean? Here's a better example. If you're not willing to be seen, you're not willing to be paid. Clear, simple, no jargon, instantly understood. Especially, let me talk to my corporate folks, right? When I work with you guys, that is a huge mountain that we have to constantly chip away at, is corporate jargon. While you may understand it, others don't. And so we have to be very mindful of the words that we are using, okay? So here's a test for clarity. If someone hears your soundbite once, can they repeat it to someone else without getting it wrong? If not, it's not clear enough, okay? Contrast. This is a big one. When we talk about contrast, great sound bites create tension. They challenge something people assume to be true. They flip a common belief on its head. Now, here's why contrast matters. If your sound bite just confirms what everyone else is already thinking, it's forgettable. But if it makes someone think, wait, really? I never thought about it that way. That's when it sticks. So here are examples of sound bites with contrast. Your work doesn't speak for itself. It never has. It never will. This challenges the lie that good work equals automatic recognition. Visibility without strategy is just noise. This flips the assumption that any visibility is good visibility. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. Rest is productivity. This challenges the hustle culture. And the one that I love to say all the time, especially when I'm closing, is you no longer have the right to remain silent. People can understand that as it comes to our law, but also asking themselves, wait a minute, have I been silent this whole time? See how each one creates a little friction? That makes it memorable. So, does your soundbite challenge something people believe, or does it reinstate the obvious? Great sound bites aren't hedged. They don't say maybe or sometimes or it depends. They take a stand. And let me just go ahead and tell you, you want to stand out, you got to take a stand. You got to stand in what you believe, which is going to get us into conviction. I think visibility is probably important for most leaders in certain situations. Wrong. The stronger soundbite is visibility is power. See how I'm taking a stand? There's no hedging. There's no caveats. It's bold and direct. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but Rashonda, what if there are exceptions? What if it's more nuanced than that? Well, here's the truth. Of course, it's more nuanced. Everything is when you're digging deep into it. But your soundbite isn't trying to capture every single nuance. It's trying to capture attention. You can unpack the nuances later, but first you have to get people to stop and listen. And they stop for conviction. This is so key and so very important. Conviction. I want to raise up an army of leaders who have more conviction. Here's your test for conviction. Would you feel comfortable saying this soundbite on a stage in front of thousands of people without qualifying it? If not, it's not strong enough. That's the test right there. So a quick recap. The soundbite formula is clarity, simple and specific, contrast, challenges a belief or creates tension, conviction, bold, not hedged. Now, I want to give you some examples of great sound bites from known thought leaders, people that you know, and I'll explain to you why they work. Example number one, Simon Sinek, who wrote the book, it starts with why. I just had a whole blank right there. It starts with why. His soundbite, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Ooh, so good. It works because it has clarity. It's simple. Anyone can understand it. Contrast, it challenges the assumption that products and services sell themselves. And conviction, it's a direct statement in your face. Brené Brown, vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage. One of my favorites. Clarity, it's two sentences, folks. Very clear. Contrast, it flips the cultural belief that vulnerability equals weakness. See there? I love it. It goes polar opposite. And for some of you, you need to go polar opposite, even if you have to teach people what the truth is. And then conviction, there's a bold definition of vulnerability. 3, Seth Godin. Marketing is no longer about the stuff that you make, but about the stories you tell. So good. Clarity, it's straightforward. It's a straightforward statement. Contrast, it shifts focus from product to narrative. And the conviction is strong, very strong. So I want us to play around with this in real time. For those of you who are watching this live, on LinkedIn and YouTube, or you may be watching in the replay. If you're just joining us, this is day 8 of 25 days of visibility. I'm Rashonda Pratt, visibility and communication strategist, empowering you to be seen, heard, and paid because your visibility is power. And today we're talking about creating a soundbite that, as an authority, as an expert in your field, it is important that you have quotable sound bites that are memorable and that people will remember who you are. So think about your expertise. What's the one belief you want to shift in your industry? What's the one thing you see people getting wrong all the time? What do you know to be true that most people don't realize? So let's say you're a leadership consultant. You work with executives. The common belief in your space may be good leaders should always have all the answers. But your contrarian belief is great leaders don't have to have all the answers. They just ask better questions. So good, right? So it's clarity. Great leaders don't have to have all the answers. They ask better questions. Very clear. Contrast. It challenges the belief that leaders must be know-it-alls. It creates attention. And conviction is a bold statement. It's very strong. That is a soundbite, ladies and gentlemen. People will quote it. People will remember it. People will DM you about it. Let's say you're a sales coach. Common belief. You need to close more deals to grow revenue. Your contrarian belief might be you don't need more deals. You need better deals. Clarity, simple and direct. Contrast, challenges volume-based thinking. And conviction, strong statement. It's quotable. Let me give you permission, leader. Be okay with going against the norm. Be okay with swimming upstream. Be okay with calling out what's wrong and then telling people what's right. Be okay with doing that. It's too many people who are acquiescing to what is already been said over and over again into things that you don't even believe. So I want to give you permission today to do that. So here's your assignment for today. Create one soundbite using the soundbite formula. Step 1, identify a common belief in your industry or space that you want to challenge. Write your contrarian statement. Keep it to 1 to 2 sentences max. And 3, test it against the formula. Is it clear? Does it create contrast? Is it conviction driven? And I would love for you to either post this live right now or come back in the replay and post it in the comments. So, common belief, X, my soundbite, Y. Okay? If you post your soundbite on LinkedIn, tag me. I want to see what you created, okay? So here we are. Let's wrap up and talk about what's coming up. Tomorrow we're going to talk about LinkedIn, how to position yourself, what to post, how often to show up. If you're on LinkedIn and not getting the traction you want, tomorrow is for you. I loved LinkedIn. It's one of the first places that I check in the morning versus any other platform. And so we're going to talk about LinkedIn being a part of the strategy. So that's day 8. Go ahead, create your soundbite, post it in the comments. I will be here responding to every single one. Remember, people don't remember everything you say. They remember what's quotable. So give them something to quote. All right. See you tomorrow for day 9. Tomorrow we're talking about how to make LinkedIn your stage. I'm really excited about it. Do me a favor, do your homework. Also tag or share this out with others and invite them to be a part of this 25 days of visibility. You guys have an amazing day. I'll see you soon. So excited about your future.